Hey there's Wisconsin wine guy. I am back. It is the end of the year and you're looking at it, but this is going to be my last and final review for 2023. And I had a bunch of different things I was going to do. I thought about sake, I thought about mini bottles of sparkling wine, and then I came across this idea. I thought, wow, this would be very interesting. Plus, it's been a while since I had it. I tasted it. But this would be very interesting. And this is what makes it so fascinating. Well, first, before we get into that, for those who are new, this isn't a wine, but these are beverages you can purchase when you shop for wine, sake, or in this case, it's going to be cognac. Liquor store, grocery store, some wine shops. I make a selection, give a taste, and let you know my opinion when I think about these wines or the beverages that I'm going to be presenting. Utilize an infamous thumb rating system. Thumbs up says I recommend this. It's a very solid beverage or wine or sake. 3/4, you know what? It's something I would share with my friends. I would even keep a few bottles of hands just to, everyday drinking. Halfway, doesn't work for me, but I'll let you know why it didn't work for me. Thumbs down, always an easy one. And every now and then there's the double thumbs up, which means I highly recommend you getting that wine, because I'm very curious to know what you're going to think about that wine. Alright, so here we go. On today's the final review of 2023. We're going to be doing a Remy Martin Cognac. Well, why are you doing a cognac when it's supposed to be a wine review? Well, here's why. For those who didn't know, this is something I did know, but I discovered more things about the whole cognac thing that I wasn't aware of. But something I was aware of, that cognac is made from grapes. More specifically, the Ugni Blanc, grape, a white grape, which you'll find in the Champagne region, and probably other areas of France as well. But doing my intensive research on all this, I discovered, I'm like, I know cognac is distilled, but how is it actually made? Alright, and that's where the curiosity led me to do some research and check it out, and my oh my was I blown away with the process in making a quality style cognac. First, let's say this, cognac is a brandy, alright? However, even though cognac is a brandy cannot be a cognac. And here's why. Because the French has the market covered. In order for a brandy to be called a cognac, or even an armagnac, it must be grown in the cognac region. It is a designated region in France, part of the Champagne region. So cognac. So now, here we go with the process. So the grapes are picked. The grapes that are picked and destemmed and crushed, they are made into wine, a low alcohol wine. So the grapes are kind of picked would be high in acidity. So the grapes are picked and they're fermented into making wine. Now it's this wine that is used to distill to make the brandy or the eau de vie, the water of life. So that gets distilled twice, and there's requirements. First of all, the grapes used must be 90% Ugni Blanc, and it could be a Colombard after that, or some of the other white grapes may be grown in the area, but 90% at least must be Ugni Blanc. Second, it must be distilled twice. Again, these are the rules. It must be distilled twice. Thirdly, it must be aged for a minimum of 2 years. Alright? To be called cognac. Right? Those are just the basic rules. Now, in this case, for Remy Martin, it's called Cognac Fine Champagne. That goes another level. In order to be called Cognac Fine Champagne, alright, the grapes must come from the 2 of the regions, Premier Cru vineyards, the Grande Champagne and the Petite Champagne. But 50% or more of those grapes must come from the Grande Champagne, the Premier Cru, in order to be called Cognac Fine Champagne. I was just like blown away by all this. I had no idea that so much went into making cognac. I only knew the grapes, I also only knew that it must come from the cognac region of France in order to be called cognac, right? So I thought, how cool is that? So now, in this case, right? So quality grapes, step one, made into wine. They need to be double distilled, which creates the Ugni, the water of life. Now from this Ugni, a blind tasting takes place at Remy Martin, tasting, thousands of tastes taking place to find that Ugni that's going to be used and aged. Okay, so before it even gets to the barrel, it has to be selected for quality consistency. Something else to learn about Remy Martin: they don't necessarily own vineyards, but they contract, with specific vineyards who are going to be growing grapes, producing Ugni in the way that they want it done. Okay, and also the sustainable farming, take care of the land, all of that. All right, they're into that. Now, also, they've been around for 300 years. 2024, Remy Martin would have been in business or been around for 300 years. Congratulations, 300 years of it consistently, top of the echelon cognac. So now, after the Ugni is selected, and then the wines go to the barrel. All right. In this case, they age their cognac in barrels made from wood in the Limousin area. All right. So Limousin, I may not be saying, excuse my French, but Limousin wood or trees, right? And making the French barrels slightly toasted. So that's a serious process in making this cognac. Can't call it a brandy, it's a brandy, but don't call it a brandy, call it a cognac. They've earned the right to be called a cognac. And we're going to be doing the 1738 Accord Royal, granted as a royal recognition of excellence. This one here, coming in at 40% alcohol. This is going to be fantastic. Looking forward to my little tiny wine glass. Going to be fantastic. Looking forward to tasting this. So a little bit in the glass. Cover this up. It comes in this really nice, fancy tube, that shows a little bit of history, photographs on the bottom, something that just looks nice on your wine bar, so you can have it laid out, with your other cognacs and or brandies. So now, you look at that color. So before we even do that, so also what happens at Remy, they have, the minimum, remember I said the minimum age time is to be 2 years. But when they go through, they're master seller and they're selecting. So this is based on a blend, okay? So this blend could be anywhere from something that was in the barrel for 2 years, something's in the barrel for decades. They do a final blend in order to come to that consistency, a process that is taught to each new master seller that's coming in to the company. All right, so it's something that's taught to each one, so there remains a consistency. So you look at that color. So we got a nice little caramel, almost like a tawny port. So nice little, caramel brownish color to it. Almost the same color as this, but a little bit darker. Okay. Now, the nose. It has such a fresh aroma to it. Where you get almost like fig, caramel, toasted caramel. Ooh, wow! A little bit of char, but sweet char from the barrel. Oh wow, that's nice. This is from here. Now on the nose, let's dig deeper. Ooh, now deeper. You pick up some like raisin notes, almost like cooked raisins and then fired, like you throw a little bit of, neutral alcohol spirit in there and fire the raisins up, in the pan. Oh, it's such a beautiful, beautiful nose. Wow. Ooh. Woo. Wow. Like almost like baked fruit and spices. Like cinnamon, some nutmeg. And then you get a little bit of subtle floral hints to it. I do, at least. Wow. Now, that's beautiful. That's very beautiful. Now for the taste. Now, the taste is simple. Now, you can have this. I mean, you're tasting this. It's just like if you're tasting a whiskey or a rum or a bourbon. Trying to get that mouthfeel, you know, trying to get that finish. You know, is it smooth? Is it bite? Is it snappy? You know what I mean? But this here, it's been such a long time. It is so pleasant, so elegant. Wow. And it definitely has a nice lively life to it, your acidity. You know what I'm saying? They get the grapes and there's enough acidity there. So it makes your mouth water. But then it has a nice a kiss of sweetness here. It's very, very elegant. Very enjoyable. Now you can have it neat. You can have it with a dab of water. I mean, just like you do a bourbon or whiskey, right? Or you can have it on the rocks. You can even mix it in a cocktail, you know, and depending on what level. I mean, it goes from here to VS, very special. You know, which again, has to be aged 2 years. You have VSOP, 4 years. You have XO, 10 years. You know, XO, you can mix it. I say you can mix any spirit, brandy, whiskey, cognac, armagnac. I say you can mix anything in a cocktail if you want to, okay? There are no rules, but you can have it as a cocktail. And one of the things I like to do, and I may do this tomorrow, is do like a French 47. You know, with a sparkling wine, some of this cognac, and a squeeze of lemon, so it'd be almost like a sour, sparkling cognac cocktail. So there you have it. And here you go. I'm gonna go double thumbs up, double thumbs up, double thumbs up, double thumbs up, all the way across on the 1738 cognac. I learned a lot from this. Hope you learned a lot from this. You know, go to the website, check it out, read up some more. So this is the 1738 Cognac Fine Champagne. Now you know why it can be called fine champagne, and now you know how cognac is made. I learned it. Check it out. So it's your Wisconsin wine guy wishing all of you a very pleasant, safe, caring, and loving New Year's, and wishing you prosperity and joy and love in the new year. And I look forward to bringing you more discoveries of different wines, sakes, and you never know, I may start throwing in some more different cognacs and brandies, right? It's all grapes. So there you have it. We see you next year. Cheers!